Okay, so this class is called Planning Ahead for a Better Tomorrow. Can everyone see the board?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay. So planning ahead for a better tomorrow, the main purpose of the class is for us to align ourselves with the energy vibration, the numerical energy vibration that's governing us for the upcoming year, which is 2022. For each year, for each month, for each day, there's a separate energy signature according to the numbers from 1 through 9. In accordance with these numbers, we should be wearing certain colors. We should be meditating on these numbers. And we should be structuring our lives in accordance with the numbers, because these numbers affect us whether we know it or not. So whether you know it or not, that it's your 6th year, you might likely get pregnant that year, or have a baby, or be more inclined to spend more time with family, or you might get married that year, whether you know it or not. So by us knowing and capitalizing on these energies, we're able to make proper use of the energy and the time that's governing us. So this is what the main purpose of this class is. So meanwhile, I'm going to teach you some prerequisite things just so you can get a basic understanding of the numbers. And one of them is to how to write a simple numerical chart. So you're going to start off, you're going to write, so I hope everyone has pen and paper. You're going to write the numbers 1 through 9 straight across. Now, I'm not the best chalkboard writer. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So is that visible to everybody?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
Okay. And so now, there's only 9 numbers. Out of the 26 letters of the alphabet, there are only 9 numbers. Out of all the letters, all the numbers, there are only 9 numbers. So every letter in the 26 letters of the alphabet break down to a number from 1 through 9. So you're going to start off with the first letter of the alphabet, which is A. Then you're going to go down. Then you're going to go to the next row. So you're going A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Then you're going to go right down to A and to finish the alphabet. J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R. Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. So that's a simplistic way of writing out just the basic numbers. All you gotta do is just write your ABCs out and just start over. Once you get to 9, start over. So as you see that each number has multiple letters associated with it. So for 1, it would be the letter A. A is the first letter of the alphabet. 2 is B. B is the second letter. 3 is C. 4 is D. 5 is E. 6 is F, because F is the 6th letter of the alphabet. 7 is G. 8 is H. H is the 8th letter of the alphabet. 9 is I. I is the 9th letter of the alphabet. Then it starts over. So you have J, which is also the letter 1, because J is 1 plus 0, right? 1 plus 0 equals 1. So it breaks down, so 10. The 10th letter of the alphabet is still a 1. Everything breaks down to a single digit from 1 to 9. K is the 11th letter of the alphabet. 1 plus 1 equals 2. So K is also a 2. L is 12, which breaks down to a 3. M is 13, which breaks down to a 4. You have N, O, P, Q, R, S. Number 19, 9 plus 1 equals 10, 1 plus 0 equals 1. T, 20, 2 plus 0 equals 2. U is 21, 2 plus 1 equals 3. So V, which is another master spiritual energy, I'm gonna put the stars by the master spiritual number. W, X, Y, Z. The letter, the number 9 only has 2 letters, the I and the Y. So everyone, is everyone getting that so far? This is just how you I'm just showing how you basically just write down, how you write down a numerical chart. When you first learn it, you want to have this written out so you know the value of each number. So when you first learning and encoding and decoding, that's what you call when you are reading people's names or reading your home or reading a business name or reading a phone number. It's called encoding and decoding. When you're adding up any world event or anything, you apply the numerical value to it. You encode and decode. But this is just a chart that you write out so you can encode and decode. So you have 2. And so with each one of these letters, they all have different vibrations. So even though under the number 1, you have A, J, and S under the number 1, the A, if a person has the first vowel in their name being an A, they're going to be different than if the first letter in their name was J, the first letter in their name is S. All of those are different styles of leaders. All of them have the traits of leadership and the things that the one energy deals with, but their style of leadership is different because they also have other numbers associated with their vibration. The A has the energy of just the 1. The J has the energy of the 1 and the 0. The S has the energy of the 1 and the 9, which breaks down to a 1. So it has traits of the 1 and the 9 in it. So you have to take that into account of a person's name starts with an S, as opposed to a person's name starting with an A or a person's name starting with a J. But that's when we get into the deeper meanings of the letters, that's another class. But for now, right, we're gonna go with this basic chart. And each letter, each number has a color associated with it. Sometimes you might hear me say letter, color, number, because for my teacher, he looks at them all the same. He looks at it as spirits. And he really don't make a distinction between the color red and the number 1. You look at it as the same thing as spirit. You know, and you have to think about it, that the spectrums of light and color spectrums existed before, you know, people gave names to deities. Before there was names, before there was numbers, you had colors and different spectrums of light. And those colors have certain traits to them, right? So just how you have your first, the number 1, right, is dealing with the alpha sign, the triangle, the alpha. It's dealing with things that's first. The first color on the color scale, right, in primary colors, the first color of your chakra, right, is what? Red, right? So the first color for the number 1 is red. The second color, right, in the primary colors or the color wheel or second color of the rainbow, the second color of your next chakra after your root chakra is your sacral chakra, right? What color is that? It's orange. So then you have the number 3, right? The 3 would be what? Your solar plexus, right? And we talking about the third color in the color wheel. So these are things that we see in nature. That's not just theory. The third color in the color wheel is yellow, right? 4 is green. 5 is blue. 6 is purple, which they might say violet. Purple. Now this is where it differs at for us as far as the system that I practice. When we get into 7, it's not synchronistic with the chakras, but 7 is the color brown. Brown. 8 is the color gray or silver. And 9 is rainbow or the color black. Does everyone have this on the board so far?
Got it.
Got it.
Okay. Okay, so now we're gonna deal with the number 1. Number 1. Color for the number 1 is red. And the letters are A, J, and F. A, J, and F. So if it's a 1 person a year for us, what should we be doing on a 1 person a year? We should be starting something new. Just beginning something. So this is when we start new ventures, new projects. If you've been planning on writing a book, this would be a good year to start. If you've been planning on writing your distant cousin who's in the system, and this would be a good year to start doing anything, to begin something new. If you want to begin a workout routine, you want to begin a new diet, you're beginning new relationships, you want to begin a new project, a new job. The 1 year is a year when you start doing that. 1 deals with fire. 1 is also yang. So 1 is also masculine energy. 1, it can be aggressive, assertive, dominant. On a lower level, it can be controlling, domineering, egotistical, impatient. But people with 1s, they like to be first. They're very individualistic. They don't like to be micromanaged. They like to come and go as they please. They don't like to be told what to do, especially if somebody already planning on telling them what to do. They're gonna do it themselves. They're gonna do the job and do things on their own, so nobody doesn't have to tell them to do nothing, because they really rebel when somebody tries to tell them to do something, or somebody tries to force a 1 energy to their own mode. 1s are going to be who they are, very individualistic people. They like to push themselves. They can be assertive and aggressive, bossy, telling people what to do. That's the 1 energy. So when you have a 1 person year, this is a year when you're supposed to begin something, when you're supposed to start something new. And so doing your one person year, you always want to have red as a thing, right? So you want to have a meditation that's red. You want to have like maybe a red scarf, a red handkerchief. You want to wear something red every day of the 1 year. It could be a red ribbon in your hair. It could be red socks. It could be red undergarments, right? Because this is the year. Red also is a takeover energy, right? You know, if somebody walks in the room with the color red on, all the eyes are immediately going to go on them. They're going to attract all type of attention, right? They use a red cape to entice the bull, right? Red attacks anger, aggression, and violence and dominance. There's a reason why in prisons, why they have red, you see them wearing orange. Because if they had red in prisons, there'd be a lot more prison outbreaks. There'd be a lot more violence in the prisons. But they wear orange because they want them to cooperate. Or I've even seen pink in prisons because they have the white and the red to neutralize the heat of the color red. If you have a red car, your insurance is going to be more, because red cars are more prone to get into accidents, right? Red also represents it represents danger. That's why they put it on stop sign. That's why we stop at the color red. So you also have some spirits that are associated with the color red, right? You know, from various different cultures. You know, Shango, the thunder god, being one of them, right? In the Yoruba Ifa system, right? And if you look at Shango's name, Shango was known to be a king. His colors are red and white. And his first vowel in his name is an A, right? And his first letter is an S. Both of those are 1 energies. So everything points to him being the leader. Everything points to him having the fire energy. Everything points to the number 1. I mean, even if you look at a crown, the crown is shaped like a pyramid, like a hill, like an A. Triangle most crowns that come upward some way like that. So on your 1 year, you have to be careful on what you allow into your life during this time, because the things that you allow into your life during the 1 year can affect you for the next 9-year cycle. So if there's things still lingering around that don't serve your highest purpose, make sure you get rid of it, because you don't want these things lingering around for the next 9 years of your life. Because in numerology, you go through cycles. So traits of the 2, right? The 2. The color for the number 2 is orange. The letters are B, K, and T, right? So 2 deals with unity. Balance, harmony, cooperation, codependency, it deals with understanding, partnership, is feminine, so those are some basic traits of the number 2, right? So when you have a 2-year, you want to have orange as the color scheme for the year. So you want to have a meditation of the color orange. You want to think about what you are uniting with, who you are cooperating with. You want to deal with your interpersonal relationships. So during the 1 year, you may have just began a lot of new things. You may have just began a new job. And so now in the 2 year, you're learning how to harmonize who you are and balance yourself with that of other energies, of people in your household, people in your workplace, people in your day-to-day environment. You're learning how to cooperate with others. You learn how to be self-sacrificial, how to not put yourself first, how to think about the needs of others, how to think about the opinions of others, how to be considerate of others. It's about understanding. The 1 energy is about giving direction, about directive, and about initiative and starting and beginning. The 2 is more so a listener and a support system. The 2, one of the basic qualities of the 2 is support. So if it's your 2 year, you should be harnessing that energy to attract people to you who are going to support your dreams, goals, and endeavors. You want to be harnessing that energy to attract people that are going to be cooperative with your dreams, goals, plans, and ambition. You want to harness the energy of balance between the different aspects of your life. You want to be selfless in relationships. You want to just be able to listen to people and give advice. I mean, not give advice, just listen. Some people just need a shoulder to lean on. Some people just want somebody to vent to. And the 2 energy is more so about that. The 2 energy is more so about support, cooperation. Who you going to combine with? Who you going to partner with? If it's meant for you to partner. The 2 energy, the 2 year will be a year in which you find people who are going to be a part of your tribe. Would you find people which you build your team with? That's the 2 year. There's also a time when you'll feel very sensitive, because 2 is very sensitive. The 2 is intuitive, it's sensitive. It goes through a lot of emotional highs and lows. Sometimes it's feeling real up, and sometimes it's feeling real down. Because a lot of what you'll find, a lot of 2 energies, they need support system and they also need time alone. So a lot of people with B's, like Britney's and Tiffany's and stuff like that, some people might say, oh, these people, they are real emotional people, they cry a lot. Because they have a lot of 2 energy in their name. So they go through a lot of emotional ups and downs, emotional highs and lows. So sometimes during your 2 year, you have times where you just feel sad, where you just feel down. Because the 2 is also, by uniting, you also associated with the 2 is empathy, being empathic. So you're uniting with the energies of other people of your atmosphere that you're in, the people and the places that you're around. That energy is, you're also susceptible to those outside energies that's causing you to have emotional imbalance. But on the positive side, like I said, you want to have positive balance between your higher self and your lower self. You know, balance between your work life and your family life. Balance between your work life, your family life, and your spiritual life. And how to bring all these things in synchronicity and unification together. You want to do group activities. You want to promote group activities in your home. You want to promote group activities in your work environment. Or see what you can do with the collective. It's about the collective rather than the individual. So in a 3, person here, right? The color for 3 is yellow, right? The letters are C, L, and U. So you'll find like a lot of comedians, public speakers, a lot of people that are good at speaking and writing, and actors and self-expression, they have 3 energies. Either their name adds up to a 3, they have a lot of C's and U's and L's in their name, right? Like Charlie Murphy or Charlie Chapman, which is a comedian, Chris Rock, right? Rick Ross, right? People with the C. Rick Ross, Rick has the C in the 3rd position of his name, right? So you will find a lot of people with the C's, the L's, and the U's in their name, they're good orators. The C is about communication, creativity, communication, creativity, self-expression, joy, happiness, optimism, right? When you think about the color yellow, you think about sunshine. It's about like being bright. It's about being optimistic. Back in the day, they used to have a lot of yellow in kitchens. So you see a lot of kitchens with the color yellow in them. And this also led to the kitchen being a place of socialization. People would come with their friends, they would do homework in the kitchen. People would gather in the kitchen to be talking because of the color yellow attracted people to that space for that particular purpose, because that's what the color yellow does. This is why I have on gold today, right? Or when you are finna publicly speak or finna speak, you light a yellow candle. That also helps with your communication, your creativity. You meditate. You meditate on the color yellow. So in the 3-year, right? If this is when you really do something that you plan on doing, if you want to take that improv class, the 3-year will be a year to do that, right? It's dealing with acting and anything, expressing yourself. You find yourself in the 3-year just being more vocal about stuff. So you really have to watch yourself. Also, because the 3 can also be a critic and it can also be harsh with words. So you have to watch yourself in the 3-year, not to be overly critical on yourself or others, not to be harsh with your words. You have to really watch what you say. It'll be a great year to start keeping a journal. It'd be a great year to keep a dream journal. It'd be a great year to start writing, period. And also doing things that bring you joy. You know, right now they have adult coloring books. They have little art classes. They have painting steps. And they have things where you can express yourself, even if you're not an artist. They even have little apps right now where you can do karaoke. You know, you can have your little studio. I forgot what the app's called. But these are years where you do that, where you do things to express yourself, to find your inner child like joy, right? Your inner child like self, your inner child joy, and things that bring you joy. This is the year to do that in the 3 years. You know, anytime when you're feeling down and you want to brighten yourself up, you put on the color yellow. It'll make you feel brighter. Anytime when you're nervous about your communication, you have to communicate effectively and clearly. You want to wear the color yellow or light a yellow candle or have something yellow on you. And you can rub on it color yellow also to help you to get that effect. Yellow flowers, you know, sunflowers, tulips or whatever. Any questions about the number 3? So number 4. Right. The color for the number 4 is green. No, that's green. Color for number 4 is green. And the letters are D, M, and V, right? And so if you notice what D and V stand, that's driving motor vehicles. So it's actually a synchronicity, right? Because everything that deals with the number 4 and the color the color green deals with driving motor and vehicles. All of those things start with the 4 energy. You'll find a lot of people who have 4 energies, right? Whose names start with a D, M, or V. These people are like mechanics, builders, architects, like Dan's Auto, Dan's Construction, Dave's Auto, Dan's, Dave's, you know what I'm saying? A lot of Derek's, people that cut hair, you know what I'm saying? And you'll find a lot of people with the 4 energy that actually works on cars and build stuff with their hands. These people are also good at planning and organizing, like arranging events. These people are also master strategists. And they also have inventor energies, right? Like Vincent Van Gogh, right? With the V. That's the 22 master spiritual energy, which is something else, but it's still the basic traits of the 4. So these people can also be like war generals. They know how to read blueprints. The 4 energies, these people are kind of secluded and isolated. They're kind of being seen as very serious at times. And 4 energies, they need clarity. If things aren't clear to them, they will ask a lot of questions until things are clear. They want a clear understanding. So, but the D, for the most part, deals with work, labor. The D's, the M's and the V's, these are your worker bees. These are people that's put into work and to put things in physical manifestation. Organization, organizing, planning. Structure. Building. So doing your 4-year, right? Your 4 years when you set the solid foundation for whatever it is you're trying to do. So the 4 years when you plan on starting a new venture, you plan on starting a new business, whatever it is you do, you set out, you get all the pieces to the puzzle in your 4 year. This is when you plan, you map things out, you write out your list, because 4s, they also are like very prepared people. When you find a 4 energy, they don't like to be unprepared. People with 4s, they don't like to be catch off guard. They don't want no surprise meeting. They want to come to a meet. We talking about peaches and apples today. They're going to be overly prepared to talk about peaches and apples. When you start talking about grapes and plums and chickens, it's going to throw them off. They like to know what they get into. They like a clear understanding. 4 energies, they will ask a lot of questions until it's clear. So in your 4 year, you're gonna be strived to work a lot. It's like, man, I've been having to do forced overtime during my 4 year. You know what I'm saying? I took on a second job. And it might be just because you have to, because you're behind on things, or it might just be that you're compelled to get ahead, and the efforts and the energy that you put forth in your 4 year is going to benefit you for the rest of the 9 year cycle. Because in your 5 year, that's when you can have a little more time to let your head down. So in the 4 year, you're going to be building, you're going to be structuring, you're going to be organizing, you're going to be planning, and you're going to put the pedal to the metal. You're going to put your feet behind your actions. You're going to work hard. You're going to labor. It's not the year for plans. It's not the year for fun. Even though you can find different times depending on the day of the month to do those type of things, but you have to keep a focus on working, accomplishing, planning, and the work that you put in will allow you to have leeway and free time in the other years. The work that you put in the 4 years is going to benefit you. It can benefit you. You can capitalize on the energy. You can put forth enough work in the 4 year to benefit you for the rest of your life. So during the 4th year, you should be wearing the color green. Green should be a theme, whether you always have a green hair ribbon in your head, whether you have a green handkerchief. You know, you should have something wearing the color of green every day for your 4th year. Any questions about the number 4? The number 5, right? The color is blue. Oh, something else about that color green. The color green is also used to induce calmness and relaxation. There's a reason why they put green, why they put green on the hospitals. You see a lot of green inside of hospitals because it helps to prevent vomiting. And wearing the color green promotes labor and work. So if you're feeling lazy, you don't feel like working, you put on the color green. When you want people to cooperate with you, you put on the color orange. When you want to be bright and expressive, you want to inspire that in other people, you wear the color yellow. When you want to take over something, you wear the color red. Now, when you want to promote something and sell something, you wear the color blue, right? Blue is a big color in advertising. And so the letters associated with the number 5 and the color blue is N, E, and W, right? Even though it's E, N, W. But N, E, W, that's another synchronicity. N, E, W spells new, right? Because the color, the number 5 deals with technology, it deals with advancement, and it deals with everything that's new. It deals with promotion, free spirit, sales, travels, fun, entertainment, technology, adventure, and the big thing is change. People with 5s, change is a current theme in their life. Something is always changing in their life. They don't get attached to one place for too long. You know, they move here for a little bit, and next thing you know, they're moving somewhere else. They can move to another state, they can move to another country, and they can adapt. Adaptation, that's another one. That's another trait of the 5, adaptation. They hate for their movement to be restricted. These are real free spirits. They like to come and go as they please. People who are 5 energies in relationships, they do not like no one trying to control their movement. They're very free spirit people. They also like to have fun and adventure, and they get bored very easy. So they need people to keep them on their toes. They need to be excited. But they also get distracted fast because they lose attention. They have a short attention span because they be interested in one thing this week or this day, and they lose all interest, and now they're interested in something else next week. So with the 5 energy, you have to have the tendency, you have to have the focus and the strength to be able to stick to things, that and not leave things incomplete. Finish the things that you start. Also, the 5 is an addictive personality. So during your 5 year, you have to be careful not to succumb to addictions, not to succumb to overindulgences in the sensation, because it is a fun year, but it doesn't mean that you're supposed to overly centralize yourself and do too much fun, have too much adventure, to where you neglect responsibilities or you develop habits that can be detrimental to yourself. People in 5 years, they can develop drinking habits, drug habits, sexual habits. They can develop too much sleep. They can be gluttonous. All that's dealing with the area of the five, your senses and indulgences. So you have to be very careful in your 5 year, not to overdo anything, to have moderation in all it is that you do. But if you have a business, the 5 years is an excellent year for promotions and sales, right? To sell, promote, to do festivals, to put out advertisement. That's one of the main benefits of the 5 year, you know, or the 5 energy period, you know. When you're going out to promote yourself, wear the color blue. You know, if it's your 5 year, always keep the theme up, right? People who have 5 energies, they always like on top of the game, they always on top of the next wave. You know, that's why new, you know, it's always something new with them. You know, like you meet a 5 energy, like somebody named like Kevin or somebody, they're like always kind of advanced. You know, these people are like advanced people. They stay on top of technology. They stay on top of the trends. They're trendsetters. You know what I'm saying? And so it's a good year. Yeah, the 5 energy is great for sales, promotions, travels, fun, entertainment, adventure, because all the work that you put in the 4 year, it will allow you some leeway to be able to enjoy some of these pleasures from time. You know, but also the 5s can be flighty, you know, they can be inconsistent, you know what I'm saying? They can be wishy-washy. A lot of 5 energies. They label people with 5 energies to have ADHD because they have a short attention span. So they say, oh, this person got ADHD. And I say, well, no, they just have a 5 energy. I add their name up. Most likely it's gonna come to a 5, or the first vowel name is a 5. And really they just have so much energy and they learn at a different rate. So they should be taught at a different way. They shouldn't be taught in the same way that a normal person would be taught, because they need to be taught more in a more interactive way that's more involving, rather than sitting down and listening to somebody talk, because that's boring with them. The 5 energy does not like to be bored. That can also make them leave relationships because they're bored in a relationship and they need new adventure. So 5 energies are energies that would be more likely to cheat than other energies, because they like excitement and adventure. They like change. That's a part of their life. So you have to watch those things when you're in the 5 year relationships, that you have to respect those boundaries. You have to respect the agreements that you have with people, and don't let too much fun or adventure cause you to be detrimental to yourself or anyone else. But also intentionally, you want to change things around. In the 5 year, you want to change your hairdo. You know, you want to change your house around. You know, change something up about yourself. Change something up about the way that you do things. You know, make changes in yourself for a more positive being or more positive self in your 5 year. Any questions about the number 5? Six. So 6, the color is purple. All right. The letters are F, O, and X. Y'all notice what F, O, and X spell, right? That's fox, right? So that's 666, right? This on the, this not really for this class, but I'm gonna give it to y'all. So 666, the FOX, right? The fox, right? So when you watch that movie, The Omen, right? Because they say Satan is supposed to deal with 666, right? So you watch that movie, The Omen, the first Omen. When you see in the beginning of the movie, they were going fox hunting. And to catch a fox, you have to have a team full of people. You have to have spotters. You have to have a system, and you can't just go catch fox hunting by yourself, really. You have to have multiple people to help you to catch foxes, right? Because it talks about the time that we're in. Everything moving at a fast pace. We want fast food, fast internet, fast life, fast relationships. Everything is fast. Everything we want quick, fast, and hurry. We want it faster and faster and faster. That's what the 666 is really talking about. It's talking about the energy that we're in of the fox. FOX, 666, the fox. But that's a whole nother class. But that's one of the reasons why we want everything fast paced, because of that energy. So during your 6th year, right? 6 deals with family, nurturing, healing, teaching, community, marriage. It's a very 6 is a very sensual and sexual energy, right? You see the number 6, it looks like a pregnant woman. The color purple, is like the color of this is the color of royalty, but it's also like the color of like the deep blue sea or the deep dark sky. I associate that more with purple as opposed to blue, the deeper, darker aspects of blue. Right. So in the 6th year, this is the year when you want to focus on family. That great uncle that you haven't called up or haven't talked to in years. 6th year would be a great year to do that. The 6th year would be a great year to reach out to distant family relatives and just communicate with your family. The 6th year would be a great year to plan family reunion. The 6th year would be a great year to go and do some service work in your community. The 6th year would be a great year to go and help. Go over your aunt's house and clean the windows out and help her organize some stuff out during the 6th year. Also, the 6th month of the 6th day is time for you to catch up on those things also. It's a good year where a lot of people end up pregnant, getting married, or having babies in the 6th year. Or they may get pregnant in the 5th year and their baby was born in the 6th year. It's a good year to nurture yourself, nurture others, heal others, teach others. The 6s are natural teachers. They're good at working out other people's problems more so than their own. The 6s are naturally domestic people. 6 is a very domestic number. They like to spend time in the house. They like to spend time with children. They like to spend time with elders. 6s are natural healers. They're natural teachers. They always like to solve somebody's problems and give advice. So a lot of people with 6 energies, you'll find yourself in the 6th year being prone to giving advice, turning to a counselor for your family and for your friends. But also, you have to be careful of explosion during the 6th year, because the 6s, they can let things build and they'll look past a lot of small things. Then when they get to a certain point, they will just burst and explode. Say, for instance, things that you might deem as petty. So you don't speak on it because it's something petty, right? You look over it. Then you would let something small happen, one of those petty things happen, and it's like the straw that broke the camel's back. Now you let it all out. You explode, you burst out. And every other thing that you thought you looked over, you mention those things. If you're gonna mention them when you explode, then that's not looking over those things that you're being petty. Now you're gonna let everything out at one time. All logic and all thought And all the love and all that stuff goes out the door when the 6 explodes. So during the 6th year, you have to be careful of explosion. If you're not trying to get pregnant during that year, you have to use contraceptive. But during that time, you should be focused on community. Some people are too old to have children. Some people are already married. So during that time, you want to focus on the children that you already have. You want to focus on the family you already have, and you want to focus on community. And also during the 6th year, you want to balance out all the different aspects of your life. Because there's 6 sides to everything, right? Because we say 4 sides, but there's really 6 sides. You have top, bottom, front, back, side to side. There's 6, right? There's 6 sides to everything. 6 is a very sexual energy. If you want to promote an aphrodisiac for yourself, eat purple foods or wearing the color purple is a natural aphrodisiac. Eating purple foods also stimulate the libido for men and women, right? So if you're trying to get into the mood or you're trying to get out of the mood, you don't want to wear too much purple because purple can arouse sexuality in people. 6s are very sexual energies. They have a lot of babies. And they love kids. 6 energies, they love children and older people, more so than people their age. So during your 6th year, those are the things that you want to focus on. 6 is also the number of partial harvest. So as long as 6 is serving, as which it should do, because the 6 and the 9, the 6 is really the 9 upside down. Those numbers are very similar to each other too. That's a deep class. But as long as the 6 is serving, the 6 will always be taken care of. It's the number of partial harvest. So during the 6th year, you're not necessarily focused on money, you focus on balance and harmony, and money and financial things will always be taken care of during the 6th year, as long as you are in alignment and doing things that you're supposed to do. Now, mine, like I said, you would find yourself pregnant already, then you go count your year and be like, damn, this is the 6th year for me. You go back into your past and look at the year that you got married. Look at the year when you had your kids. You can add, I'm gonna show you how to calculate, and you can add these years up for yourself. So the number 7, right? The energy is brown. The letters are P, G, and Y, right? And so you notice a lot of P, G's, and Y's. That's the number of religion. 7 is a number of religion and belief, right? So you see, like in Christianity, you have pastor, preacher, pulpit, pew, parish, pope, parsonage, Paul, Peter, list goes on. Yahweh, God, Allah adds up to a 7. Like I said, that's another class. But the 7 deals with belief and religion. It deals with what you believe in. So a lot of people just associate 7 with like, oh, this is just some cosmic spiritual number. Yes, 7 does go into thoughts, deep thought. I spelled it wrong, but you know what I'm saying. Thought, research, spirituality, analyzing. With analyzing comes critique. The 7 is a number of focus, concentration, specialization. People with 7 energies, they like vintage things. People with 7s, they have a fine eye for art. They like classic things. They like vintage. They like quality things. They're very critical. They can observe things and find out and pick out things that other people don't pick out on or pay attention to or notice. 7 energies, they can also be standoffish and argumentative, isolated. During your 7th year, you will feel isolated because the universe is going to give you a lot of downloads in your 7th year. During your 7th year, you're going to feel like you don't want to be bothered with nobody. You're going to feel like you want to be around nobody. You can have a house full of people. Then after a while, you're going to feel like you want to go leave and go somewhere to yourself and read a book or just meditate or isolate yourself. You're going to feel more connected with other realms and not the physical world. So you're going to be present in the physical world physically, but your mind is always going to be projected somewhere else during your 7 years. 7 years is a time for contemplation. It's time for analyzing. It's a time for detoxing your body out. It's a time for getting on top of your health. It's a time for self-care. It's a time for self-love. It's a time for self-healing. It's a time for analyzing your business, analyzing yourself, analyzing your home. It's a time for analyzing everything in your environment. It's a time for researching the field that you want to get into or the field that you're already in. It's time to go deeper into everything in all aspects of your life, deeper into your spiritual journey, deeper into your self journey, deeper into your business journey, deeper into the psyches of your children and the motivations of them. So the 7 years is going to promote all those things for you to inquire and to seek and to get deeper. But you have to be careful not to be so fixed, because the 7 is also a fixed energy. Not to be so fixed in your mindset and your thoughts to where you just are looking at things on a surface level. You can be prone to like, well, it's my way or the highway. This is what I believe. I ain't trying to hit nobody else's opinion. I'm sticking to this and I'm not changing that mind. So those what 7 energies tend to do. So you have to be careful about those traits during those 7 years. You have to be careful not to want to debate or argue with people, or not to be too much of an overly perfectionist. Because the 7s, they can want things to be so perfect that nothing is never good enough for them, including their own projects. So that will leave them where they never finish things because they overanalyze it too much and it's not good enough for them and they're too critical of it. Also, during the 7 year or 7 energies, they have a tendency to want to feel like everyone else. They feel like everyone else should be as smart as them, or just because they know it, they feel like everybody else should know it. But with the 7 energy, just because it's common to you, common sense is not that common. Everyone is not going to see things your same way, because 7 energies to be like, damn, is this person slow? Are you retarded? You don't see that? Because what's so obvious to the 7 is not so obvious to everyone else, because the 7 also has above average intelligence. The 7s are intellectuals. But as you know, intellectual is a mental thing, is a mind thing, not necessarily intuitive thing. So that's why there's a contradiction or conflict between what you believe in and what you intuit, because belief falls under the realms of knowledge, not intuition. Because the 7, they can say, well, this is for my research, I researched this and that, and I'm firmly convicted in this particular area, and I'm not changing my mind. Even if they're wrong, 7s do not like to admit that they're wrong. So during your 7 year, it's a time where you want to kind of isolate yourself from everybody, spend time to yourself, spend time researching, spend time focusing, fasting, paying attention to your health. You know, anything that's wrong with you, you want to get it checked out and taken care of. That's your 7 year. You want to wear the color brown. The brown is more of a grounding, earth feeling of a color. So when you wear the color brown, it will help you to get more in a meditative state. Brown is the color of the earth. You know, it will help you. Brown is the color of trees. You know, brown will help to induce that feeling of calmness and grounding in you. Right? The 7 is also associated with which chakra? Is it the crown chakra? Right. The 7 is also associated with the crown chakra, right? So it's dealing with your head, it's dealing with your thoughts. Any questions about the number 7? So now we want to go into 8, right? The color for 8 is gray or silver. So you got to think about, well, the letters are H, Q, and Z, right? So 8 deals with wealth and power. Wealth, power, authority, fame, fortune, perfection, mastery, excellence, leadership, right? So you got to think about like somebody wearing a nice, smooth silver suit, a gray suit, right? It reminds you of money, just like those Michael Jordans. I already got those cool gray Michael Jordans. 8, wearing the color 8 attracts money. Working with silver candles attracts money. You know, people use green a lot of money spells, but you know, green wasn't money for a long time. You know, like that's not. You know, people use cowrie shells as money. People use coins as money. So I don't know. Like green is something fairly new associated with money. The color silver, right, is excellent for attracting money and attracting wealth, and it gives off a prestigious look and feel. People with money, when they wear silver, the green suits, you know, it helps to attract money and it gives you the feeling. It gives you the feeling of wealth and power, right? So you have a lot of people who have H's, Q's, and Z's in their name, or their name configuration adds up to an 8. These people are wealthy and powerful. They have a lot of money. They have the ability to attract a lot of money, right? Or fame. Even you find people that's just like rich in the hood rich. You find people that's like neighborhood person. You know, like one of my old bosses got me started landscape. He was born on January 8th. You know what I'm saying? And he always had Benzes and BMWs, and he had always had different cars. You know, he was kind of hood rich. But he wasn't famous like that, but he was known in the streets before he started landscaping. He was in the streets. But people with 8 energies, they known for being flashy. They're known for having bling on, chains or things that make it look like they have money. You know, prestigious people, right? Like Zig Ziglar, right? A millionaire, right? Mark Zuckerberg, right? Hugh Hefner, right? Herbert Humphreys, right? They have the H energy. Oprah Winfrey has the H energy. You know, when you get to encode and decode, you see the things that people, the names that people add up to, what their names add up to. So in your 8th year, right, you're more than likely going to have more money than you have had in the previous 9-year cycle period. But by you knowing it's your 8th year, you want to capitalize on that energy. So you want to make that extra investment. You want to play that lottery on those certain days. You want to make power moves. You know, you're more likely to succeed in the things you do in your 8th year than in any other year. You know, you can't be scared if you don't gamble. If you was going to gamble, I would gamble in my 8th year, on my 8th day, in my 8th month. That's when I play my lottery ticket. That's when I would go to the boat. When all the energies are aligned for me to attain wealth and power on it at that particular given time. So during your 8th year, you're going to have more money than you had. So I would suggest that you make the wise moves with that. But 8 is also about self-mastery. And it's about the proper use of power and authority. Because what we know is that if you don't control money properly, then money can control you and can tear you up, right? So 8 can also be a year of bankruptcies and financial downfalls if you don't manage your money properly. And it might be that you have an abundance of money, but just be due to neglect from your previous years, now you got to take all that money and you got to pay all these bills with, right? Right? Because all these things to catch up with you at the same time during your 8 years. So you done got the money to cover these things, but you're not able to enjoy the fruits of your labor because you neglected other social duties or other responsibilities. So now you got to pay for everything. Somebody passed during your 8 years, so now you got to use this money to help with a funeral, or what they say with great power comes great responsibility, right? So during that year, that's a year where you take over. It's a year where you want to master yourself. It's a year where you want to excel yourself to a certain excellence. It's a year where you want to perfect certain things. It's a year where you want to take your brand and you want to make it look prestigious. You want to make it look all good. You want to add all the bells and whistles to it. You want to build something to its pinnacle, right? You want to build something to the utmost epitome of perfection as it can be during your 8 cycle, your 8 years, including yourself. And so where this letter is in your name, H, Q, or Z, that also determines how you are supposed to get money, right? How you are supposed to get wealth. So the H, if you have an H, and if you don't have an H, Q, or Z in your name, you have a karmic debt in wealth, right? So if there's no H, Q, or Z in your entire name, first, middle, and last name, then that means that you have a debt with wealth, right? And so that means that you're not good at managing money, and money can leave your hands as quick as it can come. So when you are missing the 8 energy from your name, the best way to get money is to let someone in your that you're in a relationship with, like let your partner manage the money if they don't have no 8 debt. But somebody has to have balance. If you have a karmic debt, you have to, you're going to be learning a lesson that you are not more if you do have, and you're not less if you don't have. But money is just a tool to be used for the greater good and the means to an end. Until you learn the proper use of money, you'll continue to suffer that debt of getting money and leaving your hands as quick as it comes. And learning how to make proper decisions with money and put your money in the right place. The people with 8 karmic debts, they don't have no problem getting money. I noticed that they can get a lot of money. It's just the proper use and the maintaining of that money and making the money work for them as we have an 8 karmic debt. Right? So if you have an 8 as the first letter of your name, that means that you're supposed to get money through the efforts of other people, right? If you have an 8 as the second letter of your name, you get money through cooperating and communicating with other people. I mean, through cooperation and harmony with other people, right? Or other people working for you, right? So you find people like with H's and like the Shamikas or something like that, or somebody with the H being the second letter of their name, Chanel's. They always they want their partner to have wealth, right? Because they get their money through partnering with other people. If you have the H as the third letter of your name, then you're supposed to get money. The best way for you to attract wealth is your creative abilities. This is something that you won't find in numerology. This is what I mean. The system is different because it deals with placements of the numbers, right? The 3 is a letter of communication. So you're dealing with the placement. So if your H is in the third placement of your name, if the H is in the communicative placement of your name, the way that you're supposed to get money is through communicative, self-expression, creativity, bringing people happiness and joy. If the H is in the fourth letter of your name, like my name, right? Anthony, A-N-T-H. That means that I can always have the ability to attract wealth, but I'm not going to attract wealth as easy as if my name started with an H, like Hugh Hefner, Herbert Hunt, right? Or Zig Ziglar, right? That means that I have to work harder because 4 is the number of structure, labor, work, planning, organization. So that means I have to organize, structure, and plan. And I got to put forth more work. And as long as I'm working, I can attract wealth. But it's not more so, it's not going to be as passive as it would if my name started with H. If the H was in the fifth letter of my name, that means that all my experiences and my travels and my life experiences and my life journey is going to bring me wealth, but sales and promotion. If the H is the sixth letter of my name, that means family and community is the way that I attract wealth. The best way for me to attract wealth, family and community is going to bring me wealth. If it's the seventh letter of my name, that means my thoughts and my research and my intelligence is going to bring me wealth. Now, the eight is the eighth letter of my name. That means I can get money in all ways. That means that I'm just really just, if I got an 8 in the 8th position, that means I can get money in all the ways. If the 8 is in my 9 position, that means that I have to get money through serving others. Trace of 9. So you understand about how everyone is supposed to, everyone has the potential to be wealthy and powerful if they have the HQ or Z in their name. And if they don't have the HQ or Z in their name, that's when you have to capitalize on your 8 years or 8 months, your 8 days, wearing the proper colors, doing the proper rituals to supplement those things that are missing from your being. And also learning the lessons that you. So now, we're on the number 9, right? And the colors for the number 9 are the rainbow. Right? So only 2 letters associated with number 9. And that's I and R. The colors, rainbow or black. Because when you put all the colors together, they can turn black. So 9, giving, loving, humanitarian, closing, ending of cycle, ending is transformation, it's completion, it's self-sacrificial, it's intuitive, very intuitive. People with 9 energies, they're very intuitive. These are the people that have the most psychic abilities, or the most potential to be psychic. People with I's and R's, especially in the first and second position of their first name. These are people who have a lot of deja vu experiences, a lot of vivid dreams, a lot of surreal experiences. A lot of times they're like, damn, did this happened before? A lot of people just like to come to them and ask them advice, ask them about, tell them their life story. Strangers walk up to them and tell them their problems. People that they don't know, they call somebody and start telling them about their life, what's going on with them. And somehow it always gets switched and everybody starts venting to them. These are the natural, also natural counselors, like with the number 6. But you have the tendency for the difference between the 9s and the 6s is that the 6s, they're going to definitely give you their opinion. The 6s are going to give you unwanted advice, unwanted opinion. The 9 will more so just listen. But with the 9 energy, you have to be careful because people will take advantage of the 9 and use their kindness or weakness or make them a garbage receptacle of someone else's junk. So you'll find the 9 bogged down, overwhelmed with somebody else's energy. that they didn't absorb because somebody just dumped their energy off on the 9 energy. Now they feel good. Now, like, oh, I feel better. I'm leaving your house. I'm happy. And now you sad. You got something wrong with you because you're empathic. So now your stomach hurt because this person's stomach was hurt. Now you sad because this person was sad. You know, so the 9s also have to learn how to detach from other people's dramas. You know, and they have to also learn that when listening to others, that I'm listening to you, but if you don't want solutions to your problem, then I don't want you to bring those things here. I don't want you to dump that energy off of me. Now you leaving power, and now I'm leaving. Now I'm in the dumps because you dumped that stuff off of me. So the 9s have to be very protective of their energy, and that's why they should wear lighter colors. You know, wear more of the brighter colors of the rainbow, not wear the black. You should only wear black like maybe you're in a meditative state by yourself, and your energy is very high. But 9s definitely should not wear the color black because they absorb too much energy from other people. So 9s are affected by the moods and the atmospheres of the places and people they're around. During your 9 year, you should be thinking about how can you serve how can you do things for the greater good? For the greater good of yourself, for the greater good of your family, for the greater good of your community, and the greater good of humanity. Because 9s are really for humanity. They're really for the world. They're not really individual people. 9 is a year where you want to complete a lot of things. If you have unfinished projects that you haven't done yet, you want to bring those things to a close. If you have things that don't serve you and you don't see it serving your life moving forward, you want to get rid of those things, because I tell you, if you do not get rid of those things on your own, the universe will take those things away from you abruptly. So it'll be a bad breakup. It'll be a bad situation. You know, now you had to go to jail in order to stop doing this because you didn't do it on your own. Now you had to get in a car accident to stop you from doing these drugs. You know, now you have to do, it's going to be detrimental if you don't end things and close things out and get rid of things naturally that the universe is already pushing out of your life. And they're pushing out of your life because it is not serving your higher good. You should already know this by this point. What's not serving your higher good? What's lingering around that don't need to be around your life? In the 9 year, those things will more likely come to an end. That's a year of a lot of breakups. People transition. They die in their 9 years. They get fired from jobs or they quit jobs. They have breakups in relationships and marriages. They finish, you know, they transition from one business to the next in 9 years. You know, so the 9 year is a very big year. You know, if you have unfinished projects, you want to make sure that you finish those things. Cross all the T's and dot the I's. You know what I'm saying? Put the icing on the cake in the 9 year. Put the finishing touches on everything. And also, you know, be more loving, be more giving. The 9 is the number of the phoenix, right? You know, the phoenix, it dies and comes back up, you know, renewed, re-energized. So you have to be thinking about that because the 9 is bringing you into the 1 year, right? One of the deities associated with the number 9 is Oya, right? They call her the mother of the 9. And she brings in the winds of change and transformation. So during your 9 year, you can wear a different color every day, according to your numerical day. You can wear rainbow colors. And it don't have nothing to do with LGBT. Just everything, but these are the colors of the rainbow, so you have access to all the spirits. The 9 has some of the traits of all the numbers within it. Any questions about the number 9?
I have a question. What I've also heard about the vibration of the number 9 is anger or negativity or fear.
I wouldn't necessarily say the 9 would be anger. I would say more so the 6 energy can be anger. The 6, the 7, the 5, and the 4 energies. Those energies can be angry. But fear is associated with the 2, the 7, and the 9. Because 7s can be fearful because somebody could make 7 is the number that they use in religion to say, if you don't follow this religion, God is going to come destroy you. So now people are fearful that they have to follow Christ or else they're going to go to hell. That's what they use. I believe it adds up to 7. You know, does fear add up to 7? 5, 6, 12. No, it add up to 3. But fear is what they use in the number 7. Nines are fearful too. They can be fearful or they can be timid and shy, and also the 2 energy. But yeah, you know, that 9 is associated. That is a lower trait of the 9, which they can be fearful, timid, too self-sacrificial, where they let other people take advantage of them. Too giving, you know, where they can become a crutch rather than a help to a person. You know, not necessarily anger. Nines get angry due to injustices, right? So if someone takes advantage of a 9 or 9 loved ones, that's when a 9 can get very angry. They're very protective of themselves and of the loved ones. And also being falsely accused. 9s and 2s, they do not like to be falsely accused because they always try to do things with a higher conscience or a higher moral value. So they do not like nobody to falsely accuse them. 9, that's when you'll see a 9 snap the fuck off. It's like, damn, you know, like one of them, like, I didn't know you had it in you. It's because you taking advantage of their loved ones, they're extremely protective, or you falsely accusing them. They do not like to be falsely accused. That's when you can see them get angry. But for the most part, 9s aren't angry. They're more so loving, giving people, compassionate people, understanding. But they do go through a lot of emotional highs and lows. And a lot of that is because they're empathic and absorbent of the atmospheres of the people and places they're around. So they can be very sad sometimes or moody at times. That makes sense?
Yeah, that make a lot of sense. Thank you.
No problem. Okay. So now we're going to get into calculating. How you calculate your personal year, right? Is you add the month and the day of your birth. You add the month and the day of your birth plus the current year. So I'm gonna use mine as an example. My birthday is 8/11. So 8 plus 11 plus 20, 22. All right. So you're gonna say 8 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 2. All right.
So you're doing next year then? Yeah, since it's
Yeah, I'm
December?
doing next year.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that's really what
Okay.
it's about, preparing us for this. You know, this year's gonna be over with, so we're gonna get
Okay.
7 more days, 5 more days left in this year. So you're gonna add the month and day of your birth plus the current year. So everybody should be doing that now. And you don't have to break it down individually. You can do it, you know, you can do it, you know, you can do 8 plus 11 plus 20, 22. You can do it like that too. But 8 plus 1, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I break down 16 to a 7. So it's a 7 personal year for me. Did everybody add their personal year up? We're gonna do 8 plus 11 plus 20, 22. It's still gonna break down to a 7 as well.
Okay, so I have a question. Is it 8 plus 1, or is it 8 plus 11?
You can do either one.
But and it's gonna come out the same number? It's
It'll come out the
8
same.
plus 11? Okay.
Yeah. And, or you can say 8 plus 11 plus 2022, or you can break down the two. You know how I did it right here. You can do it all different. You can do it this way or that way. Still gonna come out to the same thing. Like I can say 2022 plus 19 would be
Yeah.
would be 2041, right? In 2041, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I just did 8 plus 11 is 19. If I just did 19 plus 2022, that's gonna equal 2041. 2 plus 4 is 6, plus 1 is 7. Zeros is a placeholder. So it's still gonna add up to a single digit. So we like to do both ways. Because like I said, with the number that you get at the end, that tells it, so 16-7 is different than the 25-7. That's a deeper level. So we're gonna say personal year is month plus day of birth. Month plus day of birth plus the current year. Equals your personal year. And so you can also use this formula to go back in the past, to trace what year it was for you in the past. So you can say, oh man, I wonder what year it was for me when I had my first child. What year was it for me when I had my divorce? What year was it for me when I won the lottery? So when you go back into tracing your personal years out, that helps you to get a deeper understanding about the numbers too, because you can go back in your past and look at the things that you were going through during these times. And so you can say, well, this number, this energy was governing me during this time. And these are the experiences I had. So that would help you to be better prepared for when you have. So then you'll be better prepared for when you face that same energy again, because you've seen what you went through in the past. So now you know what to expect.
I have a question. So the month that we're doing, is it the current month that we're in, or the month of our birthday?
Your month and day of birth. Your birth month plus your birthday plus the current year.
So do 11 equal?
I'm born August 11th, so 8 plus 11 plus 2022. So just your month and day of birth plus the current year.
Okay, so do it gotta break down to a single digit?
Yes, you break everything breaks down to a single digit from 1 to 9.
Okay.
I have a question, Baba. So to get the total number, are you adding the final 2-digit number?
Yep, you adding that down and breaking it down to a number from 1 to 9. Everything breaks down to 1 through 9. So you got to refer back to that cycle. Refer back to that to the original chart that I had y'all write. But you see the
Okay.
letters of the alphabet. The 17th letter of the alphabet is an 8, right? So if you see the number 17, you automatically know that that's an 8.
Question. So
Yeah.
after year 9, do we start over?
Yes. After you say after you get to 9,
Uh-huh.
yes. You start over as
Okay.
far as what?
Okay. Okay, doke.
Yeah, after you get to 9, you start over, go back to 1. Because 9 is it's only 9 numbers. And numerology is once you understand the traits of the 9, once you understand the spirits of the 9 numbers, once you understand just the 9 numbers, all you got to memorize is 9. You know, then the combinations of those 9s, because when you get into the other letters of the alphabet, like the 12th letter, 12 is 3. So you just combining the 1 and the 2. And how does that break down to 3? You know, so that's the difference. You know, you that's when you get into the deeper levels, but you really the basic of it is understanding the 9 spirits.
Bye-bye.
You
Can you
understand
give
it.
me, I have a question.
Yes.
Can you give me the attributes of brown again, please? I miss brown and red.
Brown is the number 7. So did you get all the traits to number 7?
No. Mm-mm. That's brown. I have the
Yes.
numbers. I need the attributes like,
7 is belief,
okay, there we go.
religion, thinking,
Uh-huh.
researching,
Correct.
analyzing, critiquing, concentration, focus, intellect, contemplation, self-care, perfection, specialization. So during your 7-year, you should be into meditation, researching your craft, analyzing things in your life, assessing things, criticizing things so you can perfect things. You should be focusing on your goals, focusing on the task at hand, and really focusing inward. A lot of times you should be going inward during the 7-year.
Okay, thank you.
The red is the number 1. So you didn't get the traits for the number 1.
No.
Number 1 is when you begin something new. So during your 1 year is when you start something new relationships, new jobs, new projects, new ventures, new mindsets, new ways of thinking. The things that you attract in your life during the 1 year will be around you and affect you for the next 9 years. New is beginning, individualism, fire, determination, will, inventiveness, initiative. It's also creative. It's not creative like the 3, but it's inspirational creativity because it's inspiration. So things that haven't been done before happen in a 1 year or 1 cycle.
Thanks.
During the 1 year, you feel like you want to be assertive, and you have the energy to like do things that you ain't did before. So that's how you add up your personal year, right? So this is what the thing for the year is, for your personal, whatever your personal year is. Now to add up your personal month, right? You take your personal year, right? Personal year plus current month. So personal year plus current month equals your personal month vibration. Right? So my personal year is an 8, right? And the current month right now is 12. So 8 plus 12 is 20. So my personal month is a 2. So that means that all the things of the 2, I should be doing that in the month of December. I should be trying to partner with people. I should be trying to work with people. I should be trying to build alliances with people. I should be trying to bring harmony and balance into my personal being. I should be more cooperative in this month with others, more understanding, more compassionate this month, right? So that's how you find your personal month. So what we miss out on in our year, we catch up on that in our own personal month. So if it's not my 8 year for me, so it's not the year for me to get money. It might be a month for me to get money, right? So has everyone gotten how to calculate their personal year first?
No, I'm still
You have a
confused.
You
I'm
have a
still
calculator
confused.
for the year?
No, I'm still confused as to how
When
you
is your
did it. 21st of the 8th month.
August 21st. So you're
Yeah.
gonna say 8 plus 21.
Okay.
8 plus 21
Uh-huh.
plus 2022. So you might have to use a calculator if you don't want to do it individually, right? Or you can just say, or you can break every number down. 8 plus 2 plus 1. That's 8, 9, 10, 11, right? That equals 11. Then you say 1 plus 1 equals 2. So your birthday, 8/21, breaks down to a 2, right?
Uh-huh.
You got that?
Yeah.
So you break everything down to a single digit. So 8 plus 2 plus 1. That's 8, 9, 10, 11. 1 plus 1 equals 2. Or you can say 8 plus 21 is 29, 11, or just 8. Yeah, 8 plus 20, yeah, 8 plus 21 is 29. Either way, it breaks down to an 11. 1 plus 1 breaks down to a 2. Every number from 1 through 9, every number breaks down to another number from 1 to 9. So 8 plus 21 is 2, right? So now you add that 2 plus 2022. 2 plus 2022. So it's 2, 4, 6, 8, right? So this upcoming year for you, 2022, is an 8 year for you. It's a year of money, wealth, power. So you should have more money in this upcoming year than you have had in the previous 9-year cycles.
Okay.
But I want you to get how to do these calculations. You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Huh?
Yes,
Okay.
I got it.
So once you add your current year up, right?
Mm-hmm.
to get your personal month, you're gonna take your personal year, right? So your personal year is an 8 year, like mine, plus the current month. The current month is 12. So 8 plus 12 is 20. 2 plus 0 is 2. So the month of December for you is a 2 personal month.
Okay.
No, right, no, not for you. Not for you, because no, not December, because right now you're in the 7 year, right? So the month of December for you will be a 1 month for you, because it'll be 7 plus 3. 7 plus 21. 7 plus 12 is 19. 9 plus 1 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. So for you, December would be a 1 month for you. Right. Now, since your 8 personal year is, we're gonna go off January. Your 8 personal year for 2022 is an 8. You're an 8 personal year. So you're gonna add 8 plus the current month, which January, right? January 1st is a 1. So your personal month for yourself individually will be a 9. You
Okay.
understand?
Yeah.
So January for you would be a 9.
Okay.
January for me, since I'm coming into a 7 personal year, January for me will be an 8 month personal month. Because I'm adding my personal year, which would be a 7, plus that current month, which would be January, which would be a 1. So my personal month for January is 8. Does everybody else understand how to calculate the personal month in the year?
No,
You don't understand what you understand?
because when I add my personal month and my birth date, I'm coming up with a 10. So am I dropping the 0 and it becomes a 1 or what?
Yes. You add the 1 and the 0 together, and it breaks down to a number from 1 through 9. So you add 1 plus 0 equals 1. So
Uh-huh.
everything only breaks down to numbers from 1 through 9.
Okay.
So when is your birthday?
3/16.
So what year do you have 2022 for you?
I don't know, because I'm confused.
So the 2021, 2022. So you say 3 plus 16 equals what? 19, right?
Mm,
So you break 19 down to a single digit. 9 plus 1 equals 10.
right.
1 plus 0 equals 1. So just your month and day of birth is 1.
Right.
You add that to the current year. So you add 1, the month and day of your birth plus current year. 1 plus 20, 22. So 2022 is clearly a 6. 3 2s, 2, 4, 6 plus 1. That equals 7. So for you, 2022 is a 7 personal year for you. So in 2022, this is a year of contemplation, of initiation rites, of spiritual rites, of isolation, spending time alone, of working on yourself, mastering yourself, flushing your body out, cleansing your system out, paying attention to your health, finishing projects, researching, studying.
Mm.
All of those things you should be focused on in the year 2022. So are you clear what I'm saying now as far as breaking everything down to a single digit?
Yeah. Thanks.
And so now you take your personal year and add that up to the current month to get your personal month. So for Tia, if 2021 for you was your 6th year, and now it's a 12 month. So you would add 6 plus 12, right? Which would be 9. So that shows that December for Tia is a 9 personal month. Because you add your personal year plus the current month, which equals your personal month. And so now in your 9 personal month, that's an excellent month to close things out and get rid of things in your life that's not serving you before you go into the new year. So in order to get our personal day, in order to get your personal day, you're going to take your personal month, right? Personal month plus the current day. Personal month plus current day equals personal day. Right? So,
Can I say something real quick, Anthony?
yes.
Yeah, I think just to clarify for those who were a little bit confused, originally when Anthony had us do our personal year, he used the year 2022 as if we were already into next year. But then when we go back and we're doing the personal month, we're doing the month of December. So you have to kind of remember that we use 2022. So whatever you got for 2022 as your personal year, if you're going to do the personal month and you're going to use December, you have to subtract 1 from that, because currently we're in 2021 if we use December. But if you're going to do your personal month and you're going to use January, then whatever personal year you came up with using the year 2022, then you would use that plus January, just to kind of keep it aligned. Because so if you're using December, we have to, and I think correct me if I'm wrong, Anthony, if we're using December, that original personal year that we calculated using 2022, we do have to subtract 1 from that, correct?
Yeah, I would just yeah, if you're gonna use 2022 for your personal year, just don't even use December. Don't even add that.
Okay, right. Okay, perfect.
Because it can change, because your months will change. For instance, throughout the year, right? Like right now, I'm in a 9 personal months, right? So if things were like perfect, that means that in January I go right into a 1 personal month, because 1 comes after 9. But no, the year vibrations changing, so I'm gonna go back into an 8 personal month, right? In the month of November, I was in an 8 personal month. In the month of November, I was in an 8 personal month. December, I'm in a 9 personal month. And so I would think, January, I'll be in a 1 personal month because the 9 cycles starting over. But no, the new year changes the whole vibration. So in the month of January, that's going to put me into a 8 personal month again. Because I'm going to take my current year for January for 2022, that's a 7 year for me. So 7, which is my personal year, plus the current month, which would be a 1, that would be an 8 personal month for me. I'm gonna do this calculation over for Janine. Let's see if she doesn't get back in. But I was showing how to add up your personal year, which is your month and day of birth, month, plus day of birth, plus current year. I'm gonna use mine as an example. I'm born August 11, 8/11. So I'm gonna say 8 plus 11. which equals 19. I break that down. 9 plus 1. 9 plus 1 equals 10. 1 plus 0 equals 1. So that's just a small way to break it down. My birthday. 8 plus 11 equals 19. 9 plus 1 equals 10. 1 plus 0 equals 1. So I add my month and day of birth, which is 8/11, plus the current year. So that's 1 plus 20, 21. Right? So I can break the 2021 down, or I can add it all up together. 2021 plus 1 is 2022. 2022 equals a 6. So this current year for me is a 6 current year. Or I can say 1 plus 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 1. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can say 8 plus 11 plus 20, 21 equals that's gonna break down to 6. 8 plus 1 is 19. 2021 is still gonna break down to 2021 plus 19. 2041. No, it's 2040. So that'll be 2040, right? And if I say 2 plus 0 plus 4 plus 0, 2 plus 0 plus 4 plus 0 equals 6. So 2021 is a 6 personal year for me. Everybody understand?
I got it.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
So after you add your personal year up, to get your personal month, you add your personal year plus the current month. So if it's a 6 personal year for me, 6 personal year, the personal year plus current month equals your personal month. Right? So it's a 6 year for me now. 6 year in a 12 month. 2 plus 1 6 year plus 12 months. So 6 plus 12 is 18. 18. 1 plus 8 equals 9. Right? So today is the 12th month. So in my 6th year, my 12th month. So no, 6th year in the 12th month of the year. So my personal month is a 9 personal month. So the month of December is a 9 personal month for me. Is it understood how you get the months? Does everybody understand how you get the month now?
Got it.
Yeah, I got it.
So now that I have a 9 personal month, today is the what day is today? The 26th, right?
Yes.
Do you know why I chose today?
No. No.
Because what personal day is it for me? If I take my personal month which is a 9, plus the current day, which is 26. And I'll break that down. What does that break down to? What does that equal? My personal month is a 9 this month, and today is the 26th day of the month. So if I add up 9 plus 26, what does that equal?
35.
And what does that break down to?
8.
8. So you know why I did it today on the 8th day?
Because that's
So I can
also
track more
your.
money, right? Because ultimately I'm doing this to get y'all information, but ultimately I want to get some money, right? So I set it up on a day to get more money, you know. Why did we start at 307? Because 307 break down to what?
1?
1.
Oh, wait.
Right.
Yeah, 1.
Right. So you're supposed to start things on the 1. You're supposed to end things on the 9. You set your prices add up to an 8 because they're going to attract more money. So when you synchronize everything, then you wear the certain colors and you do all the stuff you're supposed to do, that's when you start making miraculous things happen. You start on the 1, you end on the 9. Even if you go overtime, even if you start a little later, you have it set. All right, we're starting at 307. It's going to end at 702. 307 is a 1, 702 is a 9. Start on the 1, end on the 9. Prices add up to 8. Everything that's focal with the focal point of wealth and power. So today is an 8th day for me. 8th day. So to get your day, you take your personal month plus the current day. Personal month plus current day equals your personal day. Personal month plus current day. Personal month plus current day equals personal day. So that's what I just did. My personal month is a 9. Personal current day is 26. So my personal day, 35. 3 plus 5 equals 8. Breaks down to 8. So that means I should be getting money on this day. So that's how you calculate the personal months, personal days, personal years. What you do, what you miss out on for the year, you can catch back up on that on the month. What you miss out on a month, you can catch back up on that on a day. Because you should go through the numbers at least 2 times during each month. You should have 2 3 days each month, 2 1 days each month, 2 4 days, 2 5 days, 2 6 days, 7 days, 8 days, 2 9 days. You should go through those cycles every time, and through personal days of each month. So you won't have to fret if it's not a good money year for you. It's a good money month. It's a good money day. You can always capitalize on that energy. So does everyone understand how to calculate your personal month, day, and personal year?
Yes.
During your personal month, day, and year, you should always have a color that's associated with that number on that month, day, and year. So by it being a 6 year for me, I should always have something purple. Even if I just have a purple crystal with me. Even if I got purple socks on. I should always have on something of that color. Then, because that's my primary thing for the year. So then for the month, I should have on something else for the color of that month. Then for the day, that might be the color that I wear for the day. I might have on whatever day it is, it's an 8 day. So I might have on gray for the day. I put on yellow because of the because I'm speaking. Yellow helps with communication. Okay. So you have your personal months and days. What you should be doing these months, these days, these years, and the colors you should be wearing. Now I'm going to show you. When you are calculating your name, right? I'm gonna show you how to write out, calculate your name. All of this stuff is very introductory stuff. Just preparing y'all to be acrophoneticists or numerologists. So I'm gonna calculate my name. You put the vowels on the top. And the consonants on the bottom. All right. The vowels represents your emotions. Vowels are your emotions. And how you really are on the inside. This is what, in numerology, some might call it your soul urge or your soul number. Right? But that's how you really are on the inside. Your consonants represent your logical stuff. Your personality number. In numerology, they call that your personality number. But that's how you think. That's how you process information. That's the outward you. That's the part of you that people see. That's what your consonants add up to. Your vowels add up to your emotional stuff, how you really think and feel, how you really are on the inside. And how, and the side of you that people that really know you and your family, they know you to be. Your logical side is more so what you give out to other people. So when you add your name up, right, we're just gonna do my first name, Anthony. And so you see the number Y, the letter Y? I'm gonna use Y as a vowel because it's used as a vowel in my name. So Y can be used as a vowel or a consonant. It depends on how it's used. If it says Anthony, so the Y sounds like an I, right? So that's gonna be counted as a vowel. If it was like York, right? York, that would be a consonant. Because the Y is pronounced, is not used as a vowel, it's used as a consonant. So I'm gonna add up. You're gonna use your number, the number chart that I did when we first started. So that's how you learn which number is associated with each letter. So that's a 1, that's a 6, and that's a 7. So I'm adding my vowels up on top, my consonants on the bottom. The N is a 5, the T is a 2, the H is an 8, the N is a 5, right? So then I add those up collectively. Right? So that's 8 plus 2 is 10, 5 plus 5 is 10. That's a 20. So my consonants to my first name add up to a 2. 6, 7, plus 7, that's 14. 4 plus 1 is 5. So my consonants add up to a 2, and my vowels add up to a 5 in my first name. And that total name adds up to a 7. So a lot of people, they study numerology, they study it via books, so they don't know how to break down their name. They just add, they write the numbers in places where it's not understandable. Like they just write all the numbers down here. You know what I'm saying? It makes it harder to calculate. If you separate the vowels on the top, the consonants on the bottom, then when you add the vowels and the consonants up together, that's how you get a person's life path. So what your name adds up to collectively is the pathway in which you should take to accomplish your destiny, and that's what your birthday adds up to. Which in numerology, some people call what your birthday adds up to your life path number. But it can't be your path number, it's your destiny number. And some in numerology, I see some people call what your name adds up to your destiny. But destiny deals with dates, times, cycles, phases. And the only thing you can get those out of is your birthday, is the actual numbers. What you can tell what challenges, the cycles, and pinnacles the person's going through, what they be going through this year, this month, this day. You can only get that from your actual birthday. So that makes more sense for your birthday to be associated with destiny, which we call your reason for being, right? So does everyone get how to add up your name? Because you're gonna do the first, middle, and last the same way. Then you're gonna add those up together. Right? So if I said Tia, right? T, right? I'm gonna add the vowels up on the top. That's a 9, that's a 1. That's a 10. 1 plus 0 equals 1. So the vowels for Tia adds up to 1. The T is a 2. So the consonants for Tia add up to a 2. That name collectively adds up to a 3. Then you do the middle name and the last name the same way. T, what's your middle name?
Renee. Renee.
R-E-N-E-E. And your
Wow,
last name?
that's my middle name too.
Pearson. Pearson.
All right. So you're gonna add the vowels on the top. So you're gonna associate the number that we did on the number chart when I first opened up. So you're gonna put a little 5 on top of each E. And you're gonna put a 9 under the R and a little 5 under the N. You're gonna add that 9 and that 5 together, which is gonna equal 5. You're gonna add 5, 10, 15 together, which is breaks down to 6. All right. Pearson. You're gonna put small number on top of each letter. So the E is a 5, the A is a 1, the O is a 6, the P is a 7. Always vowels on the top, consonants on the bottom. R is a 9, S is a 1, N is a 5. So you're gonna say 5 plus 1 is 6, plus 6, that's 12, that's 3. 3 for the vowels of piercing. On the consonants, you're gonna say 5 plus 1 plus 9, which is 15, plus 7, which is 22. Is that right? Let me see. 9 plus 1 is 10, 15, yep, 22. So that's a 4. So I add these up individually. 4 plus 3. So the total of the name Pearson comes up to a 7. But all that means something too when we get into, you know, different levels of class. 6 plus 5 is 11. That's a 2. So that Renee comes up, that's a master spiritual number inside of that Renee, because it comes up to 11 too. So now all my consonants for each name, that's a 2, that's a 5, that's a 4. So now I add those together to get my collective, my whole name, which this is what the consonants equal on my whole name. So 5 plus 4 is 9, plus 2, that's 11. That's another master spiritual energy. But you break that down to 2 single digits. So your consonants add up to 2, your vowels add up to 6, plus 1 is 7, plus 3 is 10. Then that's a 1. So your vowels add up to 1, and your consonants add up to 2. So you add that up together, your consonants and your vowels together, that equals a 3. So your total name adds up to a 3. So that's your pathway. A 3 pathway.
Okay.
So if you should have the number chart that I wrote out, but you add and decode and stuff, so you know which number to assign to each letter. Then if you break down the vowels on the top and the consonants on the bottom, do each name individually. Then you do all your names collectively. And so this is a 3 pathway. So that means that you should take the path of using your creativity, your self-expression. That should be the path that you should follow to accomplish your destiny. Right? So when is your birthday?
316.
What year?
74.
1974. See, it's not working. This is not a working easel. This is just an easel. You're supposed to point stuff out. So 3/16, 1974. $1974. You're gonna break that down to a single digit. Which, you know, I done got pretty good at this, so you know, you use a calculator or you break it down in bits. But I just go 9, 10, 9, 10, 17, 21, plus 3 is 24, plus 1, 25, plus 6, 31. 31, 3 plus 1 equals 4. You know, I mean, that's what I was doing off the top of my head. Well, like I said, you can add all those numbers up together, or you can add them up individually. You can say 3 plus 1 plus 6 plus 1 plus 9 plus 7 plus 4 equals. 3 plus 1 is 4 plus 6 is 10 plus 1 is 11 plus 9 is 20 plus 7 is 27 plus 4 is 31. 31 still break down to 4. So your name adds up to 3, and your 4, and your birthday adds up to 4. So this is your destiny number or your reason for being number. Destiny, or like I said, we call it your reason for being. And so by your pathway being a 3, your destiny being a 4. So that means that you are here to structure, to organize, to work, to plan, to be a security for your family, to have a solid foundation, to leave here when you leave the earth, to set the standard, to set a foundation for your children, for your family. And by the pathway being a 3, that means that you should do that in a creative, self-expressive way. Or you should use your creativity, your communication skills, and things that bring you and your family joy in order to establish a foundation and a structure that can benefit generations to come after you.
Okay.
Or are just builders, period. Builders, planners, organizers. That you may just be meant to build beautiful things with your hands. You may be meant to plan events, plan parties. You may be meant to strategize. You may be meant to be a general, an architect, any of those things. That's like what you're here for. And by you having a 3 path, your name adding to 3, you can build and do those things in multitudes of creative ways because your pathway is a 3 pathway.
Thank you. Makes sense too. Okay.
So does everyone understand how to calculate your name and your birthday? Because all y'all should be calculating y'all stuff now. Y'all should be writing out your name with the vowels on the top, consonants on the bottom, individually and collectively.
So after I calculate my first name and I then calculate my last name, I add the 2 together.
Yes, you add your vowels together first, then you add your consonants together first.
Yeah, I did that.
Then you add the vowels and the consonants together.
Yes.
You don't have a middle name, right?
No.
So what did you get? What did your name add up to?
My first name added to 6.
How you spell your first
My
name?
last name, Suean. S-E-E-A-N.
S-U-E-A-N.
Yes.
All right. So your vowels, what are your vowels in your first name?
What's that?
So what do the vowels add to your first name?
9.
Mhm.
3 plus 5 plus 1.
Yep. 9, 5, 6. Yep.
And 1 plus 5 for
So your name total adds up to 6. Your last name is Wilson?
yes, Wilton.
W-I-L-C-O-N.
CON.
What did that add up to?
15 and 15 in the bottom.
5, 6,
9 plus 6 and 5 plus 3 plus 2 plus 5.
Yep, so 6 on the top and 6 on the bottom. So that's 12.
12.
3 total. So now from there, did you add your vowels on the top of it all together?
I did everything like, I'm confused what you say. You said 12?
12 is what Wilson adds up to. Your last name adds up to 12 and breaks down to a 3.
Yeah.
So now you're gonna take your consonants from your first and your last name and add that together, which is a 3. You're gonna take your vowels from your first and your last name and add that together. That's will be a 15, 6. 6 vowels, 3 consonants. And so you add that up together total, you have a 9 total.
Yeah.
So your 9 total pathway, that's your pathway.
Okay.
Most people, like I said, most people, they only, in the new age, like spiritual community, everybody say your life path, your life path. But all they calculate is your birthday, which is not your life path, that's your destiny. This is how you find your life path, your name. And this is the route that you should take to accomplish your destiny, right? So that means to accomplish your destiny, you should take the humanitarian pathway. You have to sacrifice yourself and be in a service mentality on how can you benefit humanity, do things for the greater good. Then that's what's going to allow you to accomplish that's the path that you should go to accomplish your destiny, which is when your birthday. When your birthday, Suzanne?
When my birthday?
Yeah.
21st of August, 19. Should I give you the year?
Yeah, what year?
1982.
So what you get? What is your birthday add up to?
Is it a 4? I think. I'm not sure. 8 plus.
Well, be sure if you want to have the calculator on the paper. Two. That's a 4. So that's also saying that you put here to build structures and foundations for those who come after you. You also put here to be a master at a particular craft in a particular area, work with your hands, or to be a master builder, to build things that can last for generations to come. because it comes to a 4. And the way that you go about doing it is through humanitarian efforts. So you want to always be thinking about the greater good and using your service for others to be an example and be a solid foundation for those who come after you.
Okay. So the personal, I calculated the personal day as well. I think your personal day also adds up to 9. Well, I did it for this current year. Also adds up to 9.
Yeah, so that's what you should be doing this day. But okay. It's just that is just an introductory to numerology and planning ahead. It's really I really combine 2 classes into one. Really planning ahead for a better tomorrow is really just supposed to be focusing on your month, days, and years. But I also gave some introductory things as far as encoding and decoding, which is the next level class, which would be encoding and decoding and going more into depth into the numbers. So learning the difference between the A, the K, the A, the J, and the S. All of them are 1s, but they're 3 different expressions of the number 1. The B, the K, and the T are all of them are number 2s, but they're 3 different expressions of the number 2. And that'll manifest differently in somebody's name. If somebody's name started with a B or a K or a T, they all have the 2 energy, but they're different types of 2 energies. If somebody's name started with an A, a J, or an S, all of them are leaders, but they're different types of leaders, different styles of leadership. So in the next class, which would be numbers, encoding, and decoding, I go more into depth into the different meanings of the numbers and letters. But this is it for today. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you found this informative. I hope you all take this information with you. I hope you calculate your days, your numbers, and your years, and I actually live by these things because you actually benefit from it. It's actually going to benefit. You're actually going to benefit from these numbers. Whether you know these numbers or not, they're going to affect you for a fact. Now that you know it, it's time to capitalize on those energies and align yourself doing what you're supposed to do.
Thanks, Anthony. Is the class recorded and I can watch it a little later because I missed a lot. My phone died and I've been in transition, so I missed a lot of good stuff.
Yes, recorded. Hopefully, it's recorded. I know I was supposed to like delete some of my old Zoom videos, but it says it's recorded, so I think everything is recorded. And we should be all good. I'm gonna get those recordings and I'm gonna send those out to people.
I appreciate it. And then I'll watch that and catch up. I heard some of it, but I missed a lot of good stuff. My daughter was listening and she liked it too, so.
No problem. I'm glad you all enjoyed. Thank you all for attending.
Thank you. Thank you for teaching.
Thank you.
Thanks, Anthony.
My pleasure. Happy New Year to you all.
Happy New Year.
Many happy returns to you and yours.
Yeah, the same to you.
Thank you. Yeah, any more questions? Y'all know how to contact me.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Baba.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I had a question.
What?
Yeah, so basically what we just did today, that was our numbers report.
That's how you break down some aspects of the numbers report. Yeah, what I did showed you how to break down your personality, how you break down your soul herb, how you break down your life path, and how you break down your decimal, and how you calculate your personal years, your month, and your days. Yes, it is some aspects of the numbers report. But yeah,
Okay,
that's the basic. That's the basic.
okay,
thing.
so, all right, so to get our, the numbers report that, we purchased with the class, was that something we were going to do, later on, like through email or something like that?
Which one did you purchase?
Because the class was 26 and it said the numbers report was 44.
Right.
And so what I just did with the class, is that what the 44 was for, or is that something else?
Who is this talking?
Shannon.
Shannon. So you sent me the 44?
Yes,
You sent it to my Cash App?
yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I just owe you a report. Well, send me your full name. First, middle, last, and birthday.
Yep, it's all in your Facebook Messenger.
Okay.
If you look
well,
on,
I
if you see it, it's for Shannon Jefferson, you'll see it. I'll message you one more time just to remind you which one it is. I know you get a lot of messages.
Okay. Well, yeah, I just sent you.
All righty, you have a good one.
No problem. You too. Peace and love. All.